Hi everyone, John B-Man Saunders here again. Did you see the thumbnail at the beginning of this video with me riding the bee? It's not really going to happen. I know, it's just a joke. So if anyone thought I was really going to fly a bee, have another look at it. It's done quite well, I think. My son done it. He's quite good at IT and all these things, got a degree, so I was quite pleased with that. I'm going to print it out and put it on the wall at home. So anyway, I thought it might be interesting for everyone to come and see a hive with me. It's always fascinated me how you can make different decisions with what you see in a hive, and I'm sure it's going to happen to everyone that is watching this video, that there are times when you're not quite sure what to do, and the best thing then is to go away and think about it, because normally you've got time to do that. So we'll have a look together at this hive and see how we got on. I think it's quite interesting what's going to be found there, so let's go together and see what we can see. Right, here's the hive then. We'll have a look in this to see what we find. It could be quite interesting, I think. It's one of them things with beekeeping where you have to make a decision, so we'll have a little look. This is the super. I'll take that off first. There's quite a bit of honey, and that's about £20 honey in there, I think. Give them a little smoke, get them off of that queen excluder. There we are. You see, on one of the earlier videos I did show this hive where we put frames in it with no foundation, and the bees drew all this cone out themselves. Just look and see if we've got the queen, I think this queen is got a red dot, yep, but it's not on there. And this is say a 2-year-old queen, and although they've got plenty of room in here, because you'll see in a minute, I did see the other day when I was up here a couple of days ago that there was some queen cells. So let's see why they've made queen cells together. So there's 2-year-old queen, which they can supersede that queen, which is a good thing if the colony do, but in my opinion it's quite unlikely that they're going to swarm, because there's quite a bit of room in here, and I'll show you. Look, that's one frame that they've drawn out themselves. See, all new cone, and it's nice and straight. Look, I say that was in a different video where I showed you getting them to draw a nice straight cone like that themselves. Save you spending out for the wax foundation. You know, I think it's nicer in a way myself. Everyone's got a different idea of beekeeping, haven't they? So you can see there that they've drawn that down nicely too. So you see that there's loads of space to even draw more cone, isn't there? But as we get in, you'll see that there's still room. Look there, there's still loads of room to put more cone. They're not jammy dodgered, are they, together? They're quite these bees at the bottom, then you couldn't see it yourselves, but right at the bottom there, they was all joined and hanging off the other cone, which where they're getting it warm and drawing it out. See, they're drawing that out. This is a foundation one. I must have put one frame of foundation in there, but all the rest they've drawn out themselves. I bet that was an odd frame I had. So they're doing, if you know, that's, see, they've got room, still drawing that out. I think it was about the 6 101 long, so that's 4 it's about that one there. I think I saw this was a couple of days ago, saw the startings of it, but I'm hoping it's just supersedure. Is what I want, a supersedure, because I don't really want another hive and splitting it and everything. But I'm pleased to see they're calm in there, very calm on the framelit. They're just milling about, not minding their own business. I don't know if I see the queen. The main thing of this is to decide what to do with these cells that are in there. So I think they were on this one, so we'll have a little look. See, swarm cells, you normally get them everywhere, don't you? All over the place, swarm cells. Let's have a look. Oh, it's not that one. It's very well carpeted with bees, look. But I know that is full up with bees, but we have got about 4 or 5 frames there with room, so they haven't got like no room to grow. Maybe it was this one. Not sure where it is now. Unless they've... Oh, here it is, look. See that is where you normally get supersedure cells, in the centre of the frame. Can you see it? I'll try and point it out for you. Just there, look, they've got one there and one there, look, 2. Can you see them? Now, they're in the centre. That's my daughter just going off on the horse. I expect she'll end up shouting at me. Hello, bye Dad. But can you see? So that is where they're normally superseded, in the middle like that. So we'll have a look, see if we've got any more. They have got eggs in these, so I did have a look. Yeah, they're fully loaded with eggs, so got all the good stuff in there, all the royal jelly in there, feeding the royal queen. So we've got that one there, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th one along. Have a look in these, and I'm sure that there was no more except one in there. So, oh, there is actually, there is one here as well, on this one. I'm going to have a look in this one just to see. Yeah, there is one in there. I'll leave that one for a minute. But just the one there. And we could shake this, but I'm pretty sure that's all there is. There's not like, you know, we should shake them to see what's on the frames really, but there's not that many bees in here, and I can see that it's not loaded with swarm cells. It isn't. See, look, there's a whole lovely frame there. There's no swarm cells on it. It's a supersedure, I'd say. So because it's, in my opinion, it's definitely a supersedure, which is great because I've got a 2-year-old queen that's going to be superseded. I'm going to leave it, but I know there is one more on that one, and I'm going to take it away because I have got another colony that's got no queen in it. So we'll have that. This has got a good colony in it, full of eggs this is, and that's another thing. If the queen's still laying, which she is, there's day-old eggs in there. I know the camera won't pick that up. It's almost impossible for you to pick it up, I think. But there is day-old eggs in there. I don't know my camera's not that good for zooming right in, I don't think, but it's got day-old eggs. And normally when they're going to swarm, they stop laying for... Oh, here's the queen, you see. She's walking about here, look. She's walking about just there with a red dot. I don't know if I can come around a bit. See if I can show you. Because she's walking around nonchalantly. There's the queen. Just there, yeah. Just making sure you're in. Just there, look, with the red dot. So she's just looking for a place to lay her eggs. She's not being bumped by them, stopping her from doing it, or stop. You know, they do thin them down normally when they're going to fly. That isn't that big, that queen. It looks like, actually, it does look like she's a bit thinner than she was. So it could be that they're not feeding her to get ready to fly. But I think that's a supersedure cell. So I'll go with my instinct there. It was that way round, sorry. I don't want to get it back round the wrong way. Because they make this cone themselves, they all fit into one another obviously, so we've got to keep it round the right way, haven't we? So we have a look through here now. And oh, there's another one here. Oh, that's the one I meant. This one. I'll show you this one. See, so that's basically 3 cells, but can you see where they got the cell on that one? Again, it's up, just up from the middle, not hanging off the bottom. So I'm pretty confident that that is a supersedure cell, and it is loaded up. Yep, they're feeding that. I'm just going to have a look to see whether the other one was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was there. I think there was one on that one, wasn't it? Have a look at the bottom of that one again. I think it was this one, was it? No. It was this one. The one at the bottom, see if it's a bit bigger. If it is, I'll have, yeah, that one's yeah, that one's almost capped. I think I'll go for that one because it's almost capped. Then I'll give that to the other bees. So I'm going to shake these off of here. Shake them. Don't want to mess the thing up. Don't want to shake them. Do I? I want to get them off with a twig. I'll get a twig. Sorry, the camera went off then, like it always does. Just as I was getting to the bit, scraping the bees off, or getting them off with the sticks, with the leaves even. So I'll put another frame in there to replace the one I've taken out. I just took that frame out, and if you see, right, that's all sort of fully capped. That is. So because that's all fully capped and drawn out nicely, and it's not a honey frame, they'll draw this one out to fit in against that one perfectly straight. And I'll put this one up against it as well. There we are. So put that one against it, that's fully capped. It's got them two there that I pointed out. I'll push these back now. I'll just check in to make sure there wasn't any more. So the queen did look a little bit thinner there. I might have to come back and double check this, but I would say it is a supersedure, but we'll soon find out. This one. That went the wrong way. That way. That's it. Got him the right way round. That's it, that's better. Now then, what I'll do is I'll come back in a couple of days and I'll double check myself to make sure they're not going to swarm. They're not going yet because they're not. They've got a couple of days before they're capped, so yeah, I would say they're supersedures. So we'll see. Back on here now. And I've got the frame in here with the swarm cells on, or the queen cells even. So I've got them in there. There's quite a few drone cells and all on there, but I've got that on there so I can put that in the other hive that's queenless, and it might make it viable again. So there we are. I'll get off to the other hive now and pop that in. Here we are then. Pop this. Got a space in here ready for the queen and cells. We're at this other location. It's just a small hive, not a lot of bees in here, but they do want a nice new queen, so there's some cells for them to get on with. Yeah, that's in there, and they should make themselves a new queen now. Easy as that. It wasn't too long before I put these in, so they kept warm in that box. It was only 10 minutes they was in there. Just a little drive up to this was one, and straight in the hive, and see how they get on with that. See, they haven't got a queen because they're just milling around the front of the hive. When they've got a queen and they're collecting eggs, collecting nectar, when they get here they straight out, straight back, straight out, straight back. When they're just milling around like this with nothing to do, that's normally when they haven't got a viable queen. So that's just a little tip. I don't know if anyone's interested in that, but they're definitely milling around not doing anything when they haven't got a queen. You can see them there. I'll show you, get in a bit close. They're just walking about, see, not doing anything. if they was whizzing. There's one coming with pollen then, but you know, normally they're in and out really quick, but there's a lot of milling around there. What can you see? There's a funny little insect. That's the blackberry in flower, but there's a funny little insect just there, look, yellow and black. Don't know if you can see that, but it's an unusual thing. I've not seen one before. Yellow and black insect. But yeah, we've got a lot of blackberry right next to the hive here. Look, all coming out in flower. Look at all the pollen on that bee. It's in my garden. It's getting its body right down in, and the pollen's sticking all over the bee. I looked on the beehive and I could see them all coming in the hive, and I thought, where have they got all that from? You can see it's gone, that bee has gone right down in. It's got all the pollen on it. Do you see how covered the bee is in pollen? It's just, I don't know what these little flowers are, they're in my garden. But the bee's getting right down inside, I noticed, of the flower head. See, these are coming back into the hive. There were quite a few with pollen on just now, that white pollen. So here's one. See it? Covered. Quite amazing the amount of bees are quite active. I'll leave it on film for a little while and you can watch them going in and out. You can actually see there don't seem to be any mites on the bees. You see all the pollen going in. Quite an interesting little film, I think. How active they are. It's about 9 in the morning. Cool, they are busy. Can you see some fanning their wings, giving out the scent, saying here's the queen in here, bring it all in. One's on the top shelf doing that, look. See them there, look, fanning, that one. Is it nasal gland, isn't it? That's what it's called, I think. Look, the amount of bees going in there. So happy. Because there's loads of nectar coming in there now. See that pollen going in? See how busy they are? That's, you can tell there's a viable queen in there when they're like that. Especially when they're fanning as well. In and out. When they're not doing anything, milling about, that's when you know you haven't got a queen. Look at, and they're nice. See if you can see anything unusual. Oh, look at all that pollen on that one. A woodpecker in my garden, look. I think it's called the great spotted woodpecker. Can you see him on, actually, it's got a red, I know it's got the red cap on its head. I think that's a baby when they've got the red cap on the head. You see it there, and it's pecking away at one of them fat balls. It keeps coming in the garden. My house is called Woodpecker Lodge, so it's good that I've got woodpeckers in the garden. There we are, there's another little scene. Wow, as Fred Dibner would say, did you like that? It was quite interesting, wasn't it? It's amazing really with swarm cells what you can do to sort it out, but of course the best way is to take the whole hive away, move it 2 or 3 meters away, the whole thing in its place, put a brand new hive or a clean hive with all foundation in, and take the queen, the old queen, and put it into the new hive in its old position. All the flying bees go back, put a load of feed on it, pâtés and syrup and everything, and then that'll come good with a new colony. Then you've got the old hive then with the queen cells in, and you can, you know, do what you want. You could split it, or you could take the queen cells away and leave 1 or 2 and do it that way. It's just that I try my hardest not to end up with loads of hives at the end of the season, so I'm very careful that I try to pick out any supersedure cells rather than swarm cells to save me having multiple hives all the time. So that's why I do it, and I'm very careful. I'll make sure I keep going back and checking that it's not going to swarm. So, and if it does by mistake, I can normally catch it out of the tree that's next to it, because you know, they just jump on the nearest tree really most of the time for a little while. So as long as I keep monitoring and don't just let them swarm away, that's it. So I say thank you for watching, and please look at all my other videos, like and subscribe. And so it's bye now from John B. Man Saunders and little Marley. Bye then everyone.